bad. It's pretty fucking good.
How many reps did I do?
1100.
How long?
2 hours. No joke.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Sunday morning in New York, getting ready for my fourth, count them, fourth cross-country adventure this year. My biggest and best yet. Plan on exploring numerous beautiful destinations, including Zion in Utah, Death Valley in Nevada, Las Vegas, Hollywood in California, Malibu, Yosemite, and then heading north and exploring the Oregon coast. I have so many plans and I'm really excited for this adventure, so join me as always. I'll be documenting everything: hotels, restaurants, experiences, and just ultimately sharing my journey as much as I possibly can. And sharing my experiences as much as I possibly can. Now, I'm traveling in December. This time of the month can be a bit tricky to travel in, as the cold weather has finally arrived. So I've prepared thoroughly. I purchased a bunch of different products to support me on my winter journey, and I'm excited to show you everything. So stay tuned, I have lots of content. This is going to be a legendary journey. My objective when I started YouTube was to upload 2,000 YouTube videos. And this video that I'm shooting right now, my last epic road trip of 2020, my fourth and final road trip this year, is going to be my 2,000th upload. I'm back on the open road, freedom baby. It's invigorating, it's intoxicating, and I feel good. You know I got my Starbucks. It's rock and roll. Saying goodbye to the beautiful Hudson River in one of my favorite places in New York, Hudson Valley. You know, it's always bittersweet leaving New York. This is where I grew up. This will always have a place in my heart. And New York will always be one of my homes. And I just love coming here. And I'm just so thrilled I was able to travel here in October and experience autumn in New York, which is honestly one of the best times to visit New York. And ultimately, I just love New York. You know, this place has been one of the most impactful places I've ever been to. And it's changed me throughout my entire life. Made me better in so many different ways. Getting through those harsh winters and intense hot summers. You know, when you live in New York, you become a hardy, durable human being or specimen versus living on the West Coast where, you know, it's easy. Granted, we do experience a lot of rain in the Pacific Northwest, but it's manageable. The cold winters here can be intense, especially when it drops into the negatives. Like the summer heat, when it's over 100, the humidity gets intense. New York definitely creates some of the most durable people in the United States for sure. New York strong, no doubt. But it's always bittersweet leaving. I love New York, and I look forward to coming back. You know, I was thinking, man, I love a good road trip. I really do. And every time I embark on a cross-country adventure or road trip, I get this exciting feeling in my stomach. And this overall sense of freedom that just intoxicates me. I love it. Nothing beats a road trip. The one thing that I appreciate about these road trips more than anything is this mental tactic or mental journey that I go on while traveling across the country. As soon as I start my journey, I start reflecting. I think about all of my positive experiences I've had in the last few months, the last few weeks, and I momentarily acknowledge the negative experiences, and I leave those negative experiences behind me, and I take the positive with me. And as I'm traveling across the country, I'm constantly reflecting on my life, on my journey. And I have this process of removing all the negative influences in my mind, in my life, all the negative experiences, all the negative memories. I remove all that and I leave that on the open road. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like a psychological tactic that I utilize to clear my mind, and it really works because whenever I reach my destination, I feel like a new person. My mind is completely clear, a clean slate. And honestly, that's one of my favorite parts of traveling, is thinking and leaving all that negativity behind me, starting fresh, starting a whole new journey, a whole new chapter, and becoming better through that. So if you decide to go on an epic road trip, remember how powerful and important it is to not only reflect, but observe any kind of negative influences, negative experiences momentarily, acknowledge them, and then I want you to imagine taking them and throwing them out the window. That's what I do. I almost imagine myself taking that negative experience and throwing it out the window, and just taking the positive experiences with me. And for as long as I travel, I continue to do that. I'm leaving negativity behind, and usually I don't typically ever remember the negativity that I left behind. It's almost like I'm removing those memories from my hard drive or minds, my brain. And it's great, I have to say. It's really great, and it works for me. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and gals. I love traveling across the country. I get so excited, and the freedom is just intoxicating. It really is. Just living rest stop to rest stop, hotel to hotel, restaurant to restaurant, national park to national park, just me and my husky, living life to the fullest, enjoying this beautiful world, enjoying this beautiful country, and experiencing a lot of what this country has to offer. And trust me when I say this, America is an unbelievably amazing place to live, and a lot of people take this country for granted. If you go on a road trip, you can understand how incredible this country is, how many amenities we have, how easy it is to travel, and how lucky we are to have such an incredible place to live. I'll always love America. And it took traveling across America numerous times to realize how great this place is. And I love it. And I'm excited once again to share my journey with you. So join me on this journey and let's have some fun. say this was the perfect day to So I know it's hard to see me. Bear with me. We finally reached Ohio. Day 1, a success, and I decided to drive through the night. So I'm gonna hit up Pilot in just a moment, pick up a cup of coffee, a few snacks, and just cruise the open road. And what I usually do is I watch ridiculousness on YouTube TV while I'm traveling at night to keep me entertained and awake. I got some Chipotle. Time to eat, baby. So excited. So I gotta say, today was fantastic. Day 1 was a success. The weather was literally beautiful. Sunny, cool, and we finally made it to Ohio. My goal is to reach Illinois by tomorrow morning. Maybe possibly a little further, but we shall see. As I'm not rushing, I'm taking my time. I'm enjoying the journey, and I plan on stopping at a few of my favorite truck stops along the way to grab coffee and snacks. But I'm hungry. I need to throw down. I'll see you guys soon. What's going on, gang? Your main man Pete here in Denver, Colorado. I gotta say, this might be my favorite city I've ever visited, especially in December. Everybody goes all out with the Christmas decorations. So I decided to check out this highly reviewed Indian restaurant, because you guys know me, I love my Indian. And I'm really excited to indulge as I've been driving for literally 30 hours straight. This Indian place, super cozy. And I got the whole place to myself. Yeah. I also got a slice of cheesecake because I have a sweet tooth today. And I'm watching Fred Claus. Anyway, time to eat. So I'm cruising through Denver, Colorado, and heading to Grand Junction. And I gotta say, I had a blast taking it easy last night, having dinner and staying at a hotel in Denver and exploring a bit. Colorado is amazing. It really, truly is, especially in the winter when everyone starts decorating for Christmas and you have patches of snow all over the place, clouds of mist engulfing Rocky Mountain National Park on the outskirts. It's truly a magical place, and I love it. I can honestly see myself living in or around Denver, Colorado, and I don't typically like to be anywhere near cities, but I actually enjoy Denver. And I drove through Denver and explored Rocky Mountain National Park in the summertime. I loved it then as well. I mean, it's just an extraordinary place, it really is. Colorado is amazing. It's always one of my favorite states to drive through. Amazing weather, amazing people, amazing food. Overall, one of my top 5 favorite states for sure. Just cruising along, drinking my Starbucks, enjoying the view, as you can see. A little cloudy. We may get a few inches. So I'm excited because I haven't actually driven in a snowstorm in years, because I've been living on the West Coast in Washington State, and we typically just experience a lot of rain. So I'm actually looking forward to driving in the snow. I just love the winter wonderland vibes I'm getting in Colorado. It's amazing. Like, I feel like it's Christmas already. It's great. much throughout the process about our country. And as you can see, I'm driving through Colorado right now during winter. December. And the coolest part about traveling across America 4 times during each of the seasons is experiencing everything this country truly has to offer regarding weather. You know, birth, spring, hot, lively summers, death, autumn, and the cold winters. And I was really trying to think about which season was my favorite to travel in. And although all of my road trips have been absolutely amazing, I think I enjoyed traveling across the country the most in October because the weather was perfect. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold, I was comfortable. Whereas driving across the country in December, now, as you can see, I've already drove through multiple snowstorms and I've had to deal with temperatures in the teens, which isn't too bad because some parts of the United States gets really cold in the negatives. So I could deal with the teens, I could deal with the 20s. In fact, I like the cold, I love it. Absolutely love the cold. In fact, my ideal temperature is right around 40 degrees. I could live in 40-degree weather perfectly happy and content. So traveling across the country during October for me was the best time because I didn't have to deal with snow. It wasn't raining as much. And the weather was perfect as far as the temperature. Hiking early mornings was nice and cool, right around 40 to 50 degrees. And the temperatures would rise up into the 60s and 70s. Whereas traveling in the summer, which was probably my least favorite, right around the end of July, early August, was so hot. Oh my God, especially in Utah, Midwest states, it gets hot in the Midwest. And I don't like the heat. So October was definitely my favorite. I gotta say, December was pretty good too. I didn't experience as much snow as I was expecting, and it wasn't nearly as cold as I was expecting. I prepared big time with heaters and all kinds of stuff that I already showed you guys, but it's just crazy. Traveling across the country and experiencing all the seasons in one year, you learn so much about this country and about life, birth, death, hot, cold. You can also find out what you're made of and what you particularly prefer. Like myself, enjoying October the most because I like the cool weather, but I don't like it too cold. And in the spring it was nice because it was warm, not too hot. So it's a lot of fun. I gotta say, if you guys and gals are looking to change it up, I highly recommend traveling across the country. You can't beat it. Just make sure you pick the right time. That was the whole point of this quick clip, this quick striking thought. Pick the right time. Choose the month that fits your needs. Do you like the heat? Maybe consider your summer road trip, June or July. Do you like the cold? December is your time for sure. But you don't want to go in January or February because if you're going to have to deal with harsh conditions, negatives, and snowstorms, early December or at the end of November is perfect because the weather isn't too bad yet. It's cold, don't get me wrong, but you don't have to deal with too much snow. But if you plan according, and you stay true to your weather app, and you plan your road trip according to the weather, and maybe avoid the storms or beat the storms like I did, which is why I was breezing through the East Coast states because a huge storm was going to hit Ohio and I didn't want to get hit by that. They were expecting 4 to 5 inches, so I basically just breezed through the East Coast and got through it. So didn't end up experiencing any of that storm, but check out beautiful Colorado today. Just cruising through Colorado, indulging some Starbucks, you know how we do every morning, and heading for Grand Junction, and then cruising through Utah to the good stuff, Zion National Park, Las Vegas, Death Valley, and then a straight shot straight over to California. Yay. Can't wait to get on the beach and just take it all in. Warm weather. Warm compared to what I'm used to, traveling across the country in December, dealing with 20-degree days, teen nights. Last night I think it got down to 13 degrees. When I opened my van, I got out of the hotel and I was packing everything up. I opened my van, it was like a refrigerator in here. And that's one thing that I dislike about traveling in the winter. You can't sleep in your van. I mean, you can, and I prepared so that I could, but I prefer hotels because it's just more leisurely and comfortable. It's just better, easier. You don't have to worry about getting up and putting on the heater and bundling up and all that stuff. But that's the best part about traveling, you know, in October. It's such a comfortable temperature that, you know, you can comfortably van dwell and sleep in your van comfortably and not have to worry about freezing or it being too hot. And trust me, that's the hard part about traveling in the summer. Trying to sleep in your van when it's 90 degrees is rough. You gotta open all the windows, and then when you're sleeping, you hear all the noise at rest stops or national parks, state parks, campgrounds. So you have to prepare. That's the whole point of the Strike Thoughts clip. Prepare for your road trip. Make sure you do research, check the weather, and plan accordingly. I went driving around for a few hours, investigating little towns and cities on the outskirts, and just enjoying all of the Christmas lights. And I didn't film much of it simply because I was just so engulfed by the situation. And I apologize for that, but I do have a few cell phone clips that I'll integrate into the video. But I thought I would just talk a little bit about my experience. And I was just basically driving around, and my goodness, people in Colorado decorate for Christmas so well. Every house is decorated professionally. It looks so beautiful, and you almost feel like you're in a winter wonderland. And it just adds to that overall positive vibe, especially in December. So if you're thinking about visiting Colorado, honest to God, one of my favorite times in December for sure. I've driven through here 3 times, directly through Colorado, and I've explored Denver multiple times, and I gotta say, December is the best. You have a little bit of snow, which adds to the winter wonderland vibes, but not enough to negatively impact your travels. And everyone decorates after Thanksgiving. So yeah, it was really great, and I was just cruising around, taking it all in. And then I hit up this epic Indian restaurant that I can't pronounce, so I'm not even going to try, but the shrimp tikka masala was so good. I got some cheese naan to dip in the sauce, and a slice of New York style cheesecake on the side. But I gotta say, it was a delicious meal. I feel so rejuvenated after that hotel. Got about 8 hours of sleep, feel fantastic, and I'm ready for adventures galore. I'm so excited for Zion. And the cool thing about Denver is, you know, it's a really friendly city. It's a friendly community. People seem very optimistic, happy, upbeat, and together. It's really hard to explain. You have to visit to understand, but I really enjoy the vibes in Denver, and I can honestly see myself visiting Denver, Colorado, in Colorado in general, for the rest of my life. Maybe to go skiing, hiking, traveling, exploring. In fact, I plan on bringing Danielle back to Colorado in April when we go on a massive, epic road trip. So stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, just wanted to share that. Cruising through Colorado in the middle of the night, checking out Christmas lights. What's going on, guys? I made it to Grand Junction in Colorado, throwing down this Chipotle and watching Fred Claus while I'm eating.
Your part to play something different. I said no. Johnny, change the song. No! Change the song! No! I'm gonna change the song.
So what I like to do is, when I get to a rest stop, restaurant, wherever, if I'm taking a break and I'm eating and relaxing, I like to watch YouTube TV on my phone. And it kind of just entertains me and takes my mind off the road for a little bit and distracts me. It's one of my little routines, and I like it. It's pretty cool. I really dig YouTube TV, I gotta admit. Especially on those long distance drives at night when I'm going hundreds of miles in the dark. These movies keep me occupied, keep my mind engaged. like cable TV on the go, and if you have unlimited data, you can just watch as much as you want. What's going on, gang? Good morning. I just got done exploring Zion for a few hours as the sun was rising, and I just made my way over to this really cool coffee shop called River Rock Roasting, and I picked up an Americana and a bagel. And I gotta say, that's some damn good, rich espresso. So today's goal is to head back to Zion and explore probably until 3 or 4. And then make my way over to Las Vegas, baby. Finally, I've always wanted to go to Las Vegas, and I'm finally going today. Tomorrow, I plan on exploring Death Valley the entire day. And I'm excited because I drove across country and explored during winter, and it's been rough. Some of these nights are freezing, and the mornings can drop down to single digits in teens. So I'm excited to get into the desert and experience a little bit of warm weather. And according to the weather app, Death Valley is supposed to be around 60 to 70 throughout the day, so I'm excited. trail is very peaceful, quiet, and lots of beautiful views. And I like how rocky it is. I'm getting a good workout. Totally cool. A bit of rock climbing. Getting a nice cardio session in. Feeling fantastic. After driving thousands of miles and finally being able to move, my body feels a bit disoriented because I'm sitting for so long. It's the hardest part about long road trips for me, is sitting for extended periods of time, as I'm very healthy and fit. So it feels so good to be hiking, rock climbing. Wow, check this out. So I always like to leave some kind of mark. So what's going on, gang? So last night I spent the evening relaxing in Las Vegas. I had a fantastic time. I explored the Fremont Mall District. Got some really good Indian. Again, I love Indian. And yeah, I was just kind of dilly-dallying, cruising around, getting an idea of what Las Vegas has to offer, because I plan on filming more tonight, but I was just learning the lay of the land. Today, I plan on spending most of the day in Death Valley hiking. I'm currently on my way. I wanted to show you guys what the desert looks like, because, man, it is desolate out here. desert, and you never know what you're gonna find. You got a full-on alien brothel. It's serious business out here, and apparently this is the Area 51 Alien Cafe. Check this out. They went all out decorating this place. See, now these are the moments I appreciate the most on the open road. No cars in sight, completely alone on the open road. That peace, solitude, and disconnection from humanity, civilization, is invigorating. I seek that. I love it. It's amazing. For me, it just invigorates my soul being alone. And that's why I'm particularly excited about Death Valley, as it's a less trafficked national park. So I'm excited for the peace and solitude in nature. I haven't seen a car in probably 10 months, and that's why I'm particularly excited about Death Valley, as this is one of those national parks that are off the beaten trail and not as many people go to. So I expect we'll have lots of time to reflect and be at peace in the mountains and in the desert. So I'm here at the sand dunes in Death Valley. Oh my goodness. I gotta say, Death Valley has got to be one of the most underrated national park experiences I've been to, and quite possibly one of my favorites. I mean, look at this. Actual sand dunes in the United States. This is so cool. And one of my favorite parts about Death Valley thus far is the solitude. I'm not seeing many people here, nor was there much traffic on my way to the dunes, so I love how I can just freely explore at my own leisure without having to worry about people all over the place, because that could be stressful and take away from the experience, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but I love exploring on my own without people all over the place. Wow, look at this. This is wild. is so cool. Like I said before, the United States is truly a beautiful, magical place. You just seek out those hidden gems, get off the beaten path, and you can find some of these marvels. I mean, honestly, you have to be here to experience it, but even just driving through Death Valley is such an incredible experience, and I'm hoping to experience some wildlife. I know that in December, the rattlesnakes tend to come out more frequently during the day, which they normally wouldn't do because they're escaping the heat and they stay underground. But because it's cooler in December, they might be out in the shade. So I'm gonna keep my eyes open. Hopefully we can spot a rattlesnake, some wildlife. Man, this is so gnarly. I wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about what it takes to live your best life. The simple answer to living your best possible life, in my opinion, is to just be more adventurous. Stop saying no and start saying yes. If a friend invites you to go out, stop saying no. Start saying yes. If you're thinking about doing something that you've always wanted to do, but you never did it, stop saying no. Start saying yes. It's really that simple. Having an adventurous mentality and being more spontaneous enables you to do things you wouldn't normally do. In the process, you start living life and unlocking your maximum potential, which leads to a whole new world of not just adventures, but opportunities. And that's why these last few years I've been opening myself up to spontaneous action and trying to live life day by day the best possible way I can. And for me, the best way to do that is getting out, living life, and just trying to have the best times I possibly can, exploring the coolest places. Like, for example, right now I'm in Death Valley exploring these beautiful sand dunes. Something I've been wanting to do for longer than I can remember, to be honest. And I'm here. I'm exploring a destination that I've been wanting to explore for over a decade. And for so many years I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And it took just saying yes and just going, getting my foot out the door, putting one foot in front of the other, and just being more adventurous. And in the process, like I said, you create the best memories of your life. And that's when you start developing these fond, nostalgic memories that live with you forever and define you. So get out, have fun, live life, be more spontaneous, be more adventurous, stop saying no, start saying yes. And yeah, have some fun. Don't forget to take your dogs out. So we made it to the top of the highest sand dune in Death Valley. I'm coming down it right now, as you can see behind me. And the views were spectacular. I gotta say, you know, when I planned to visit Death Valley, as I always wanted to, I always knew it was going to be great, but I had no idea it was going to be this great. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite national park experiences. Top 5. Truly a unique place. A lot of variety. If you come in December, it's not too hot. I can't even imagine how hot Death Valley is in June or July. I couldn't handle that, nor could my husky. So I'm actually doing this in December, and it's still probably 70 degrees. So this is the best time to explore Death Valley, in my opinion, because it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. So here we are at Gold Canyon in Death Valley, the second adventure of the day. Can't stop, won't stop. Just having way too much fun exploring. Living life to the fullest. Like I always say, that's what it's all about. Living life to the fullest. Wow, this is really interesting. Whoa. Beautiful sunny day. Perfect day to get a little tan because I'm white. I'm always white. Even if I go out in the sun for a week straight, I get really red like a tomato or a strawberry or an apple. And then I go right back to white. That's a Northwestern European for you. I've traveled to a lot of places over the years, and I gotta say, this has got to be one of the most unique experiences, places I've ever explored. I truly feel like I'm on another planet. I mean, look at this. It's just amazing. So we made it to Red Cathedral, and I found this little cave. So we might as well go through it. Ooh, that shade feels good after a hot walk. Very cool. Wow. Interesting. Very cool. Cruising along here, trying to get a sweet view. Oh, here we go. You know, when I go on these long adventures across country and I spend a lot of time in nature, I tend to think a lot. And I oftentimes think about life. What is the meaning of life? Religion, cosmos, all that good stuff. And today I wanted to share a striking thought about how I believe the universe is alive and more sophisticated than we think. The cosmos is everything. You know, I believe that life, all life is the universe come to life to experience itself rather than just being stagnant, mindless. And when the universe gets bored of that of which it created, it somehow causes mass devastation, destroys that life form. For example, the dinosaurs. Maybe they evolved to become too savage, and for the universe, that wasn't the evolution that it required to experience itself. So the dinosaurs were wiped out, and then humans came along. We are a more sophisticated, thoughtful life form that can experience more and feel more. And I believe that the universe created us for a reason. We're here to figure out what that reason is. And it's all up to us as unique individuals to figure that out. To some people, life is all about love. That's why the universe created us. Or it's about wealth, having everything. To me, I believe it's just being the happiest person you can possibly be and enjoying the universe. Learning about the universe, learning about the planet, your home, life, everything that makes us and made us possible. So find out why you think the universe created you and learn more about that. Because like I said, the universe truly has a plan, and at the end of the day, we are a product of that plan.
Half a mile, keep left. Follow signs for I-15 South, Los Angeles.
What's going on, gang? So we made it up to the Hollywood sign. Got some really beautiful views. So we made it to Malibu, and it's nice to relax and take in those beach vibes, those laid back vibes after the hustle and bustle of LA. Just hiking around and looking for a nice spot to relax. hiking up Shasta Mountain, and I gotta say, this has got to be one of the most incredible Pacific Northwest experiences I've ever had. And the crazy part is, it's December and I'm hiking up. So you get those incredible Pacific Northwest vibes, only with a bit better weather. So you have a larger gap of time to explore this incredible national forest. I mean, look at this. Absolutely amazing. I'm just so happy to be back in the Pacific Northwest, right around the holidays. Home sweet home. I absolutely love the Pacific Northwest, one of the best places I've ever been. I always feel alive when I come here. And that's one of the most important parts of living somewhere. Live somewhere that doesn't stress you out. You have to find a place that calms your soul, brings you back down to earth, makes you humble and happy. And you know, the Pacific Northwest does that for me. It's just a lovely place to live. It really is. Oh, I have an incredible view up ahead. I'm gonna hightail it because my battery's dying. I've been filming a lot on this journey, sharing my adventure as always, trying to make the best of life. You know me, always making the best of life, because like I've said before many times, that's our birthright, to be happy. And our ultimate goal in life is ultimately the pursuit of happiness. Doing what we can to put a smile on our face, to be at peace, feel more love and compassion, and just be better people. And whatever that entails, whatever that means, check this out, guys. Wow. Shasta Mountain, a volcano in Northern California. And honestly, one of the most underrated volcanoes experiences in the Pacific Northwest. And the best part is, I got the whole place to myself. No one around, baby. Woo! It feels good. It feels damn good. Look at this. Wow. Amazing. Check out those peaks. Man, that's something special right there.
In a quarter mile, keep right to stay on I-5 North.
stuff. But yeah, it feels great. Just really excited to get back out in the wilderness and explore Pacific Northwest nature, the good stuff. What's going on, gang? Bear with me. It's very windy as I'm on the Oregon coast, hiking around the beach, enjoying these super cool Pacific Northwest vibes. Check this out. The ending of another epic journey in a superb place, and believe it or not, this is exactly where the ending of The Goonies was shot, when you see the pirate ship. Pretty cool. And check out those waves. It's December. It's right around 50 degrees on the Oregon coast. That breeze feels so good. As you can see, I'm wearing a tank top. It's that nice. I've been all around the country, and I can honestly say, when it comes to the coast, nothing, absolutely nothing, beats the Pacific Northwest coast. Oregon straight up to Washington. It's absolutely beautiful. You get these jagged coastlines, beautiful beaches, lush forests, incredible weather, and that sea breeze smells so good. The ending of another epic journey. I can't believe it. Traveled across the country 4 times in a single year, from coast to coast, explored hundreds of different places, expanded my horizon, expanded my mentality, expanded my physicalities, and had the best year ever during a pandemic, nonetheless. And that's what life's all about, as I always say, making the best of everything no matter what. That's the secret. That's the ticket. No matter what life throws at you, no matter how hard things get, you have to make the best of every situation. Now, there was a landslide right around the area I'm in, so this area is actually off axis. Here anyway. So I'm giving you exclusive content. Some super cool and super smooth views. Check this out. The good life on the coast, baby. The Oregon coast. Nothing but the best. I love Oregon. This is a fantastic place. Wow. Oh my goodness. Would you look at this? There's a portion of the landslide right there. I'm breaking the rules, but having a good time and being safe and cautious. I don't recommend any of you ever do this.